Hey, so I'm out here in the woods again, this time digging for bottles. So I found a hole. I found a depression in the ground after searching all this area. I got a couple of them marked out, but this one's real obvious. Check it out. Yeah, see, it just goes down. Something was here. Something was either dug and buried, or could be a honey hole full of bottles. Let's start digging. Let's find out. I'll show you what I get, and let's hope this house is from, I found it on the 1850s map. 1850s was a long time ago, and those bottles are amazing and very valuable. So let's hope this is one of their 1850s, 1860s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even 1900 up to the 1920s would be perfect. So let's start digging. I'll show you what I find. Well, that was a complete waste of time. Nothing in there, just a couple pieces of metal. I've gone down about 4 feet. There's absolutely nothing, no shards of anything in there. I found a square now, but this might have been a perk test. They go out and dig a hole like this, and they fill it with water, or they see if water perks up through it, and they see if the soil drains the water well. Alright, so we'll keep looking for bottle dumps. I'll get back to you when I find something. What a beautiful day. It's going to be like in the 50s. So I'm just going around in here, and I'm probing all these low spots and seeing if I can hit a bottle or pottery or porcelain or anything. Just hitting all these low spots. The house sat right there. That would have been right there where my hand is. The back porch, well, the side porch, to catch the sun. The porch always faced the sun pretty much, and the big heap back there where my fingertip is, that's the chimney. So the logical place for a privy would have been right back here somewhere, and that is a privy. That's not a well. That's not an old privy. Somebody built that. I went inside and I dug down. It only goes down about 2.5 feet. Hunters probably might have used this as a cabin at one time. But this is a good spot. I've probed around in here. There's a lot of rocks and stuff, but I'm not getting any privy signs or any bottle dump signs yet. So I'm gonna venture over that way and see if I can get any hits. So I'll be back at you when I learn more. Yeah, so I decided to start digging out the house site. This is exactly the spot where the house sat, and I've dug here before. Find shards of glass. Now, shards of glass are nice because you can do a lot with pieces of pottery and pieces of glass and stuff. But I'm hoping to find maybe a whole bottle in here. But I found this. Can you see that? Not sure what it is yet. I'll have to clean it up. Maybe some kind of button. Looks like a fancy button. Probably from the 1800s. But yeah, doohickeys of every kind in here, and I'm also looking for marbles. So yeah, just digging away at this debris, getting it down. This is about the same spot I dug last time too. So, and there's shards and pieces of everything in here. So I'll let you know what I find. All right. Yeah, so this story is pretty easy to read. Look at that nice old bottle right there. See that pontil mark? That round pontil mark? Yeah, they used an attachment when they were making this glass. It's blown glass into a mold, blown into a mold. Most of these are. No telling what they are, but I had high hopes of running into an area that possibly, you know, had at least a bottle complete. that didn't happen. This tells a pretty grim story. Definitely there was a fire, and with all that glass in here, it's probably safe to say that, you know, it caught fire with, you know, all their belongings and stuff in it, perhaps. Unless they just left all these bottles in an empty house and then burnt it down, which is unlikely, because somebody would have came and collected the bottles, because they were all old bottles. Pottery, dishes, cups, you name it, everything's in here. But these make really nice, once they're cleaned up, they're really beautiful, and they make really nice displays. It's all melted glass, and it's really neat when you look at it in a pile. So I'll keep most of the glass. I probably won't keep too many pieces of the pottery, but yeah, just all melted. As you can see, look at how much I dug here. Quite a bit. And there's the chimney. I'm gonna dig over there just a little bit more. There still seems to be a little bit of glass and stuff, and maybe right there, but yeah, this obviously was the center of the kitchen area, where there was a cabinet full of glassware. Okay, we'll see you. Yeah, I'm thinking this big rock was the center support of the house. Finding a lot of glass around it. Look at this little tiny melted bottle. Now tell me that isn't neat. When that's all cleaned up, that's unique, for sure. Found a spoon somewhere in there. And glass. Lots of glass. All different colored glass. Now we got nails. There's a nice amber right there. Beautiful. There's more of that amber. I know it probably seems strange to you that I'm digging broken glass. And yeah, it is a little strange, but broken glass is actually pretty when it's in a pile. People will buy that, and I collect it, so I mean, it's unique. Anything unique and out of the ordinary is worth saving. Well, I think that's it in there. And there's a piece of glass root growing around it, see? Or grew through it. That's a nice blob of glass right there. Nice blue aqua. We'll save that piece. Alright, I'm going to dig over here a little bit, and then I'm going to be done. I'll show you what I get. See ya. There's another one of those melted bottles. You might even be able to still tell what that was. But that is just super neat. That's a talkative piece right there. That tells a story. People ask questions about that. It's like, you have that up on your mantle. Hey, what's that chunk of glass you got sitting there? Well, hey, yeah, that came from a spot. Yes, a lot of pottery. Alright, see you on the next one. Alright, so I got my bags, I got my glass, and I got my porcelain, and I'll bring it all home, sort through it, see if I can piece things together. They look good when all cleaned up nice. They look good if you fill your jars with them. There's a piece of glass too. If you fill your mason jars and stuff with broken glass, all the different colors and stuff, it looks really nice. So it's too bad we didn't find the bottle dump or the privy or anything like that around here. Strange. I'm gonna have to get a new poker, I think, a new ground probe, because this one is, I think it's just a little bit too thick. It's not going into the ground right, or at least not all the way. And I'm not able to feel what I'm supposed to be feeling in the ground, you know. So it only goes in maybe 1.5 feet, and that's just not deep enough. So a little bit thinner, a little bit stronger rod, I think, next time. It's a homemade one. I only spent $9, but it's not working. So time to move on, time to build something that's going to work and start finding some real bottles. It wasn't a wasted day. It's a beautiful day, probably the warmest day we're going to have this winter. And it was nice to get out. It was nice to dig. It was nice to use my muscles and my energy and just to feel good about myself and go out and do something. Even if it was just glass shards and pottery shards, you know, those are still unique and they still tell a story and it's still part of history. So I enjoy digging it. And now I got to fill all this back in. So quite a mess. I don't want anybody to know, you know, I was here. I don't want them to come back and dig in my spot. So we'll make it pretty, and then we'll get out of here. So we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. So it's actually super warm out still, and I'm gonna take advantage and wash these up. You'll start seeing the color come out. Might have to soak them in dish soap too. That's the pottery. I just kept everything. So why not? I'm gonna definitely have to put dish soap in that. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, just blobs of pieces. It's like a peachy pink. Yeah, there might even be writing and labels on some of them. Sometimes you might even be able to identify what they were. That's a bottom to something. It has writing on it. Patent pending, 1868. Wow. Yeah, it's an old site for sure. But yeah, I'm gonna fill all my mason jars with this stuff, and just makes a nice display. Something to ask questions about, I guess. Conversation starters. All right, let me get some soap. I'll be right back. All right, let's put a little dish soap on it. Just pour it in, see how it separates automatically. Dish soap is amazing. Just amazing stuff. Watch the water. It just pushes. Well, all done with my cheap dish soap. Just foam it up and let it sit for a second. Had to get underwater a little bit, just so I can soak up. Put some water in there. That crud will come right off. Gotta be careful, I don't cut myself. Put a little agitation in there. I lost a lot. See any fall out? No. Oh, I got a mess now, don't I? Alright, we'll let that sit for a minute. Alright, I believe those are clean enough. Let's move it up here. Get the water run down. Start putting it in the basket here. Yeah, that pontil mark on the back like that, that's definitely how you tell if it's a blown glass mold. They use sometimes an iron rod to hold on. Some of these are going to be so dirty that they're not going to be cleanable. You see that little star pattern right there? Yeah, this was some kind of dish. There's that jar, that little jar. Of course, I'll pressure wash all these. Once they dry, we'll let the dirt on it turn to dust. Get them really dry. There's the top to a medicine bottle, screw top, early 1900s. That's nice right there, with that lettering on it. Top to a mason jar. These are the blue mason jars. Just interesting to see if you can make out anything on these. But some of these pieces are really neat looking. I like the blue. I didn't find any cobalt blue. Of course, these are probably all food related. There's an impression of something. It's like a shell. Nice amber. Look at that nice amber blob right there. Beautiful. I like these pinks. Those are nice. Teacup maybe. Says something on it. Just so hard to read. I'll let it dry, get that water off of it. I probably should be wearing gloves. I've already cut myself. Look at that nice little piece right there. And I find little tiny ones that sometimes I'm mistaken for a marble, but those are in long drips. Pretty cool. There's another top to a screw top bottle. There it is. Look at that. That had something in it. Do you see that dark stuff in it? Something in there. Still in there. Turned hard. Interesting. Alright, well, let me get this scooped up. And there's a jar lid that still has the melted glass in it. Let's take a look at the pottery. Lots of different colors of every different type. Might be able to put things together. We don't want that glass. That's window pane. I was just grabbing handfuls. Look at that one. Try to find out what age these have. Gives me a better idea. That looks like it went to that. Somehow. Gives me a better idea of what I'm dealing with at these house sites. When you look at the glass or other objects you find in the ground. Date. Don't see any center marks on anything. I was looking when I was digging. And there's one. Might not be a center mark, I don't know. It's hard to tell. Oh, clean them up. Yeah, neat, huh? Okay. Thanks for watching. See you.